Please, can you all give a big, big warm welcome to our first live pitcher. Please welcome Steve. Hi, Steve. Welcome to Property Elevator Live.
Thank you.
Please, can you just give a little introduction to our audience today and a little bit about the deal that you've brought for the Angels?
Absolutely. So my name's Steve Horsley. I live just outside Darlington in northeast England. And the deal I've brought today is a mixed-use development in Richmond, North Yorkshire. And ideally, I'm looking for an investment of £400,000 to go towards the purchase of the development.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave you to it, and I'll be back shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve, thank you so much for coming today. Can you just explain very quickly, if possible, the deal and what you want so all the Angels and the audience know, please?
Yep. Absolutely. So the building itself, it's currently a large commercial building, just under 13,000 square feet. Which is made up of roughly 6,000 on the ground floor, a basement of just over 3,000 square feet, and first and second floor of roughly 2,000 square feet each.
That's good.
It's currently tenanted to a commercial tenant. However, they're going to be vacating the building around October, November this year. So the vendor is minded to sell. Essentially, what I'm proposing to do with the building is to convert the first floor and the second floor and do a loft conversion at the rear and put dormer on the rear to create 8 one-bedroom apartments and then maintain the commercial unit on the ground floor, possibly dividing the commercial unit up into smaller units as it is essentially one of the largest, if not the largest, in the marketplace of the town. So I think it may be easier to rent the commercial unit going forward if it was divided up into smaller units. So essentially what I'm looking for is an investment of around £400,000. Haven't actually agreed the purchase prices yet. Still at quite early stages with negotiations with the vendor. He hasn't actually had the building valued yet. But I'm estimating purchase price around £450,000. I have £50,000 in savings to put into the deal. Then looking for around £400,000 to complete the purchase. And then use development finance for the rest of the purchase.
Okay. Steve, thank you very much for that.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, I'm going to ask Nicholas next. Nicholas, keep it short if you could, Nicholas, please.
Shorter than you?
Yeah.
I'll do my best. That won't be hard, actually, John, to keep it shorter than you.
You've already spent 10 seconds talking about that.
I have. I would like to know what sort of due diligence you've done around the parking and the amenities on the site. Is there any space for bike and bin stalls and those kind of things you need to think about?
Sound is awful.
Sorry, I couldn't
Is it
quite catch.
bike and bin stalls? Have you thought about those? Is there any space on site for that kind of amenity?
Essentially, the parking aspect of it, I have reviewed the local plan for the Richmondshire Council. They do support developments without parking, sustainable development without parking in the town centre, and they have approved similar schemes. Building 2-3 doors down from this was turned into apartments about 3 years ago.
Okay. Was that listed as well?
And that was also a listed building, yep. And that was turned into, I think it was a mixture of 2- and 3-bed apartments and a couple of houses in there as well, which didn't have parking. In terms of bicycle storage and that kind of thing, what I would propose to do is potentially, as you can see on the picture of the front of the building, there's a few entrances into the building, is probably use one of those entrances to create an area for kind of cycle storage, bin storage, that kind of thing, for the flats above, so that you've got that kind of amenity on site as well.
Okay. I'd just like to go back to one point you mentioned when you were chatting to Ranjan about the mix of it all being 8 one-beds.
Yeah.
That's fine when it is a PD app, and I think where Ranjan was going with that is that when it is a full planning app, they're almost certainly going to want a mix, and you mentioned the one down the street is a mix.
Yeah.
Do you believe you'll get 8 one-beds? What's the thinking there? You've done some research. I just want to find out if I'm missing something.
To be honest, I'll be 100% honest, I wasn't aware that you wouldn't get planning if it wasn't a mix.
It's not that you wouldn't, it's that it's much less likely.
Yeah, less likely. But like I said before, I do believe there probably is space to make a couple of two beds in there, and then keep 6 one-beds as well. Potentially, depending how much head height you could squeeze out of the loft conversion as well, you might be able to make those into 2 beds as well if you can make the head heights
no problem.
work. Or,
Thank you, Steve.
That's
great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Nicholas?
It's not for me, I'm afraid. Too many unknowns, parking, grade 2 listing, price of development cost, etc. So
A sign of inexperience, Steve. Now, I really like the deal. It's listed. I do a lot of listed. These guys don't even understand what listed buildings are. I've done a lot of listed buildings.
You're not competing, you've got it, mate.
That's not a problem. I'm just
Make your offer.
re-emphasising the point.
we're all out, John.
So, I like the deal.